What's up guys, Sean here, again with another edition of Mostly Metal. This is going to be a quick one today. I just have a few things to talk about. I'll be spending a lot of time listening to music today and doing some other things around the house, but wanted to make a quick video. In the background here we have, from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, we have Thou. This is their album Magus. The cover looks kind of plain, but if you can see in the glare here, you can see some of the writings kind of hidden there. You can't read it really, but it's got the side A, B, C, and D. This is double vinyl. The Sacred Bones logo. That's the back. Really nothing special there. It's a gatefold. That's the inside with more cool lettering hidden. You can see here and here. The vinyl itself, just standard black vinyl, nothing really exciting to show you. Gold labels, nothing thrilling there. These guys are a sludge band from Louisiana, as I said earlier. They seem to put out albums or EPs like every 6 months. I think they went on a stretch. I think it was last year, they put out like 3 EPs in 3 months. It was kind of crazy on their output. This is the inner sleeve. It's got some lyrics. Most of the lyrics are pretty kind of depressive, a lot of politics, which I'm not a huge fan of bands that want to talk about politics, but that's their thing, so more power to them. Great stuff. Every album they've put out I like. I own most of them. I've seen them live once. If you haven't seen them live, highly recommend doing that. Very powerful. The lead singer, can't remember his name at the moment, but he kind of lunges out of the audience and screams these lyrics. Great stuff. Slow, heavy. Again, some of the lyrical content, not a huge fan of, but the music alone is enough. What you can hear in the background there, it's just slow and heavy. And I've talked in some of my other videos about the Louisiana sound, the sludge scene with I Hate God and what are some other bands? Acid-Bath, I just talked about in my last video. Crowbar, even Down to a certain extent. That slow, swampy, heavy music that seems to come out of that scene, which seems to be a reflection of the swampy weather that they have down there. I can only imagine late July what the temperature is down there right now. So check out Thou. I'll probably do some more Thou videos in the near future. Next up is something that I heard about from another YouTube channel. I believe it's Ben Smasher. Great YouTube channel. Check him out if you haven't. I found out about this band from him, Circadian Ritual. There's the back. This is a band released this independently. I believe they're from Minnesota. Inside there. I kind of bought this on his recommendation. He seems to have some good musical taste. So I went and picked it up off from the band's Bandcamp, I believe is where I got it. There's the inside. You can see the state of Minnesota right there. This is more doom metal. I liken it to a band like Evoken, maybe. I hate to say funeral doom. I actually hate labeling music in general. It just seems kind of like you're pigeonholing a band at a label to try to get people to understand what it sounds like. It's only got 5 songs on it, as you can see, but they're all pretty lengthy. This is their second full length, came out in 2017. They have another one called, I think it was self-titled, came out in 2016, which I haven't heard, but based on this album, I'll probably go pick up their self-titled debut album. It's good stuff. Another item of note here, if you see this here, it says Live Fast, Die, and then it says NF in the middle. To me, and maybe the band or someone that knows can tell me, I'm pretty sure that's a copy of a G.G. Allin tattoo, if I'm not mistaken. He Live Fast Die was one of Gigi's mottos. I'm a huge fan of Gigi Allen, which I'll probably be doing a whole series of videos on him. So that's kind of cool, kind of a homage to Gigi Allen there with the label. I don't know if it's not really on a label, so I don't know what that means, but I think it's cool that they put it on here. Not sure if the Gigi Allen fans or even know where that came from, but if so, kudos to you guys for putting that on there. That's really cool. So, Circadian Ritual, check them out. Next up is I bought on a whim. I didn't care for too much, unfortunately. This is Bloodbath. This is a reissue. Sorry for the glare. Reissue of Grand Morbid Funeral. This is Bloodbath's kind of a super group from Sweden. This is the first album where there's the back. Michael Eckerfeldt from Opeth used to be in this band and left because he was tired of doing death metal, and Nick Holmes from Paradise Lost, who I'm a huge fan of, took over, and this is the first album he was on, and I thought, well, this has got to be good because Paradise Lost is great. There's the CD. I've listened to this about 8 times, and I just cannot get into it. I don't know if it's the songs aren't catchy. There's a lot of Bloodbath fans. I have a couple of their albums. Inside's just lyrics and whatnot. Nothing too spectacular. There's a picture of the band. There's Holmes there. I like them. They're great musicians. The vocals are awesome. It sounds like classic death metal, but I just don't like it. I don't know. Maybe I need to give it another 5 spins. I don't know, but like I said, I like other Bloodbath output. Sometimes when these musicians from various groups get together, it kind of can be a little too much, if you know what I mean. I hate using the term supergroup, but it's not terrible, but I probably am not going to keep this. I bought it on a whim. Like I said, this was the reissue. It's got the little side panel here from this on Peaceville, came out in 2014. So if you like Bloodbath, I'm putting this on my Discogs. If you want it, I'll probably put it out there for a cheap price. But classic type death metal stuff, but it's just not memorable to me. Some death metal you put on, and a week later you're kind of humming the riffs in your head, and you're like, oh, I need to go listen to that again. This album I've listened to at home in the car, and it's like background noise to me. Nothing sticks. So you've been warned if you want to check out Bloodbath, but check out their other material. It's really good. Next up, this is an oldie but a goodie. This is Cradle of Filth. This was, I think, their first EP, Vampire or Dark Fairy Tales in Folustein. Don't even know what the hell that means, but this came out on Cacophonous Records. There's the inside. They've always had a lot of women and weird imagery with their output. This is again, I don't understand the appeal of that, but I'm not an old guy now, so whatever. This is their first EP, I think. This is when Cradle of Filth, the innards are really cheesy on this. To me, they were really great this time, around this time period before they got a little popular. I think this EP came out after Darkness and Her Embrace. They were kind of gaining a kind of a cult following, and then there was this time period where I got a little worried when Demi Borgir and some other bands like this kind of got popular, and they were actually played on the radio. I thought, oh god, this is the beginning of the end, death metal, as we know it is going to become mainstream. Thankfully, it didn't really happen, but it's good. It's fast. The production's kind of shitty. The bottom end's really trebly, as I've talked about in some of my other videos. I prefer my metal to be, I want to feel it, you know what I mean? I don't want to have to keep turning up the bass on my equalizer to hear the bass, because that just distorts the whole thing, and when you turn it up loud, which is how you should listen to metal, it just sounds like shit. So, but overall, yeah, this is good. This is worth a pickup. You can get it online, I think, for like $2 or $3. and it's one of their better EPs and output in general, so go pick that up. And last, this is an album that I picked up, or CD. This is the Integrity and Kreig Split EP. What I didn't know is I had already bought this on vinyl. So I was at a record store and I saw this for a good price, and I was like, man, I can't believe I don't have that yet. It didn't look familiar, the cover. And turns out I already bought it, so now I have 2 copies. But this is something I can play in my car. This is the OBI strip, they call it, that goes over the, if you don't know, you always see CDs that come like this, with this part on the top with the barcode, and it kind of swipes off. I like to keep these. To me, it preserves the value of the CD if I ever decide to resell it, which I will one day when I get older. But that's the back. This came out on Relapse. I'm a huge Integrity fan. Unfortunately, get lumped as a hardcore band, which they kind of are, but to me they're a lot more brutal than your typical hardcore band. There's some cool innards here, like the purple and black theme. Then if you flip it over, this is the Kreig side. Kreig's more depressive, more black metal, I would say. Neil, Christ, I keep on saying Neil Jameson. I can't remember if that's his name. He has a column in Decibel that's hilarious. I love reading his stuff. He's kind of pretty much seems to just hate everybody and shits on metal fans all the time, and it's hilarious because people get butthurt when he does it. Because metal fans, and people in general, can just be kind of turds anyway, so I like reading his column. So if Neil happens to see this, keep doing that because it's hilarious. This is a split. All the Kreig stuff, it's Circle of Guilt this time, I'll Leave You to Drown, and then a live version of The Sick Wind, Stir the Cold Dawn. I like his side, but the Integrity side has 4 songs, 2 originals and 2 covers. The highlight is Sons of Satan, which is a Vermipire cover, which I'm not familiar with, but I plan to go check them out. And then Document 1, which is a Jism cover. Both covers are awesome. I think they're actually better than the originals, so shout out to Integrity for that. This is a great split. So great, I bought it twice. And a tip for you all, before I bought this, if you're a huge music collector like me, what I do is I have Dropbox on my phone, and I have an Excel document with a list of albums that I want. And so if I'm at a record store or something, I can pull up Dropbox on my phone and I can see if I have the album or not. If it's not on the list, I typically won't buy it. Sometimes I get these urges like, oh god, I want to buy this, and then I'm like going through my list and it's like, yeah, that's not on the list, I better hold off on it. It prevents impulse buying most of the time. So keep a list on your phone, handwrite it if you have to. My list has probably 1,000 titles on it, and it grows every day, it seems. So little pro tip there for you if you don't want to buy multiple copies of something. Coming up, I'm going to be looking at just a little preview of some things I bought. Anal Cunt, Picnic of Love. This came out. This is a repress that came out on Record Store Day this year. I'm a huge Anal Cunt fan, so we're going to be talking about that. Dokken, Back for the Attack. It's extremely underrated hair metal band. We got some Best of Emmylou Harris. Great country artist. And what else? Iron Reagan. As you can see, so these are still sealed. Most of them are anyway. The newer ones are. Haven't busted them out yet, but I will before the next video. So until then, guys, please subscribe. Be sure to check out my last video where I talked about Acid Bath and Desert Island album of mine. I apologize for there being no links to YouTube audio files of that album. It seems Rotten Records, which I mentioned in the comments of that video, has got their music on lockdown, so I cannot find any good rips of that album to share with you all. Just some covers that people have done that I thought were decent but don't really do the album justice. So please go find Pagan Terrorism and Tactics from Acid Bath. So until next time, guys, thanks for checking me out. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll catch y'all later.